Motovlog, 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 Motovlog. What's up, everyone? The fourth installment of NV Motovlog. Another beautiful day, except yet again can't get out till later in the afternoon. Doesn't matter, at least I got out and it's a nice day, so again, can't complain. Oh, let's see here. What did I want to talk about today? Student driver. Oh no. I remember now. Goal orientation. Goal orientation. Okay. So, I was thinking earlier, I just got done with a workout, so if for some reason I start talking really quick, it's probably my pre-workout. It's still kind of pumping through my system. I'm pretty caffeine sensitive, so yeah, it's definitely had its impact, and it probably will continue to have its impact for a while longer. But yeah, goal. How to orient yourself around your goals and how to improve yourself around your goals. Fuck the speed limit. I'm just gonna chill. Well, I was actually having a talk with one of my friends a few days back, and he was expressing to me how he felt like he didn't have the motivation to do one of the activities that he really loves, which is music making, and he's quite good at it. But he never seems to have the energy or the motivation to do that, because he goes to work and then he goes straight to the gym and works out like a warrior, and then comes home and doesn't have the motivation to start working on his music, which is one of his, I guess, personal goals. I mean, working out is too, but you know, it's not so much a creative outlet as music making is. Anyways, so we talked about it a little bit, and I kind of discussed it with him, and we talked about it, and yeah, I guess the most important point that he made was that he feels like he's stretching himself too thin. And I actually don't think that a lot of people have that issue. I feel like, well, to a certain degree, people have that issue. But I do feel that most people just don't have goals in their life. They're not progressing towards something. They're just kind of moving, kind of floating through life. Which is, you know, I mean, I'm not going to condemn that and necessarily say, oh yeah, that's absolutely wrong, you know, that's no way to live. I mean, it's just not the way I live. But if you choose, you know, if you choose and decide that you want to have goals and, you know, focus on being more goal oriented and all that, then it's important to know how to go about that. So yeah, I think it's important to know how to go about that. And some people, like my friend, he feels like he's stretching himself too thin with the number of activities that he does. Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll say there's two different ways to really kind of stretch yourself thin. And what I mean by stretching yourself thin is doing too much too many things, like focusing on too many things at once, to a point where you don't have enough time during the day, or even, you know, from a bigger perspective during the week, you don't have enough time during the day or during the week to really flesh out some of your goals and really put emphasis on your goals, and progress in your goals, like your individual goals, and not necessarily like work, but although definitely work can be one of those goals, but whatever makes you, your identity. So anyways, there's two different ways, or at least that's the way I see it. One is you have too many things, too many items, too many goals that you're trying to reach, and you spread yourself too thin, as in you don't have enough time to dedicate to each one of your goals, and as a result you end up giving up on some of them, if not all of them. That's one way. And then another way is just focusing so much of your time on a few of your goals to a point where those goals move forward, but some of your other ones go neglected. And it is possible, I suppose you could say, that those goals maybe just aren't as important as the ones that you are spending so much time on. So those are the two ways that you could be stretching yourself thin. And then again, there's the opposite spectrum where people just don't have any goals whatsoever, and that just, I guess that's just your choice, whatever, it's fine. Well, not that you need my approval or anything, but it's just not the way I go about things. So anyways, for the people who have goals and or have aspirations, which is, I think, a little bit different from goals, but I'll talk about that some other time. But just a rundown is aspirations would be kind of larger scope goals to a point where it takes a long time, from a chronic perspective, it takes a long time to reach those goals and make those goals a reality. Okay, so those are aspirations and goals, and then there's regular goals, which I feel like can be anything, even going grocery shopping, whatever it is. So I just feel like when you spread yourself too thin, you're not allowing yourself much opportunity to investigate what goals are really important to you. And I think that's really important. Well, of course it's really important, I just said it. But it's imperative that, at least from my perspective, that a person understands that you have a certain amount of time and during your day, and then from a larger perspective during the week, and you don't necessarily have to plan everything out, but because that can kind of get obsessive. But beyond that, you need to just realize that you only have a certain amount of time and a certain amount of motivation, and that's definitely that's even more. I think that's even harder to come up with for certain people more than others. But in general, it's definitely true. It's harder to come up with than something like time. You have a set amount of time, okay, you understand that, and you kind of just go about it accordingly. That's fine. But when it comes to motivation, you really, it's tough. Like you really have to push yourself. Like that's an intrinsic process. That's really something that you really have to push yourself and see see what you can, push yourself into, like how much motivation you can pull together to a point where you can start attacking some of your goals. So let's talk about some of your goals. So for me, for example, I'll just take myself as an example just because it's easier. I have pretty much 3 goals that I'm currently really focused on, and that's fitness, okay, which is my business, writing, which is another one of my creative outlets, and now motovlogging or biking. Well, motovlogging really. Those are my 3 goals. Those are the ones that I've cemented, and I've decided, okay, this is what I'm going to dedicate myself to. And that is literally all I spend, well, not all, but it's a good portion of who I am and what I do. And I really had to sit down and think about how these goals affect me, and if they were important enough that they trump my other goals. So I don't know, I can't even think of my other goals. Like they pretty much left my mindset at this point. Trying to think of, I really can't think of anything. But then I have, those smaller goals that just I had to leave behind, at least for the time being, until, so for one, music sequencing. I was really into making music, just like my friend, but I don't have the time to dedicate to it, and I'm going to put that on the back burner for now. And for now, I mean like a couple years. I'm not talking about like a couple weeks or a couple months. I'm talking a good chunk of time, and focus on the 3 goals that I mentioned. And now that I have these 3 concrete goals, I can officially, decide, okay, I'm going to spend my time on these goals. Okay, so let's say you also wanted to work on your career, then replace one of those goals with your career. I think for a lot of people, they'd probably choose something like career, which is my business and fitness, then like a hobby, or maybe even 2 hobbies, something like that, or even something, a passion that's even greater than a hobby, like they want to do something with it, on the side of their career. And you really have to find a way to become damn good at all 3 of those. And the only way you're going to do that, at least again from my perspective, is by getting rid of your other goals and stop being ADHD about your goals. You pick 3, sit down, think about it. If you want, go for that nighttime ride, just like in my last vlog. Think about it and get to it, just start thinking. Yeah, think away, and once you come to a conclusion of 2, 3, and maybe some people can pull off 4. I don't think I can. I do not think that I can, so I'm sticking to 3. And you got to set some guidelines for yourself. You can't be like, oh well, I can handle 5, I can handle 6. You gotta be honest with yourself. You really do. And I think you'll notice within a few weeks if you can handle 5, 6, big goals. But anyways, so then you sit down, think about it, figure out your 3 goals or however many goals you want to focus on, and just build off that. Just dedicate yourself to it. And typically people choose something like something that they're really interested in. Of course. I mean, why would? Well, I guess there are multiple reasons as to why you would pick something that you're not that interested in. I mean, money is one thing. I don't know, faith, whatever. It can be anything. But there's multiple reasons. Most people probably pick, at least a few goals that they're just really interested in for whatever reason, and usually it just connects to them, passionately from an emotional standpoint, which is fantastic. And to me, that's what makes you an interesting person. Whatever it is, it just makes you an interesting person. It can be negative and positive. So yeah, you sit down and you really think about, okay, what do I need to do to reach this goal? What do I need to do to reach this goal? And you figure it out. Figure out what you need to do, even if you need to get some advice from someone, and make it a reality. Just make it a freaking reality. Just do it. Some people are in worse off positions than other people, but the mentality, the motivation isn't different. It's both parties, people who are in a good position or a better position than others, and people who are in not such a good position. You still have the choice. It's slightly, it's definitely slanted one way or the other, but you have the ultimate choice the ultimate choice. Sounds like a video game moment. KO, ultimate choice. Anyways, you have the ultimate choice if you're going to work towards your goals like a hound. Just attack it. And generally you're just going to have these positives out of it. I know a lot of people say, okay, well, it's going to get, stressful and everything, which it will. There's moments, of course, they're goals for a reason. They're tough. There's things you're trying to strive for, you're trying to push for. And that's great. That's exactly what you're trying to do. So yeah, it's going to be tough at times, but that's the whole point. So you can make these tough goals a reality, an accomplished goal, something that you feel proud of yourself. You feel, more accomplished. You become I just feel like people just become better. They just become happier with themselves when they reach their goals that they've been working for however long. It can be a week. That's a decent amount of time, or months, or years, years. The level of appreciation for something like that is even higher. At least that's how I would imagine it. But yeah, so that's my Spiel, mein Spiel. Ich habe alles gesagt, das ich wollte sagen. Also, so yeah, that's it, mate. Sit down. Think about it. Think about what's really important in your life, and don't let other people necessarily influence you. As a matter of fact, fuck other people. In that decision time, in that particular time, fuck everyone else. Okay? It's what you want to do. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And once you figure that out, then you can get advice on how to accomplish that. And keep at it. They're going to be difficult, but when you finish them, you're going to feel awesome. You're going to feel fantastic. It's just going to be, and the process is going to be really enjoyable. Just you inching closer and closer to your goals. It's a really enjoyable process. And of course, like I said, you're going to have your down moments. You're going to have your stressful moments. But it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. Alright, well, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm gonna keep riding for a while, and I will catch you guys in the next Motovlog. Peace. butt. You see it? That's my big boy. Under the armpits a little bit. Okay. The butt a little bit. Yeah, that's it. That's it.